welcome back to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. This is the final round of the Wildcard Challenge. The 5-round championship that is using the Mercedes 190E DTM car that you can see on the picture there. Very small photo or design of this car around the Czech circuit of Brno. Pretty long circuit, very twisty as you can see, should provide some decent racing as we saw in the past in other categories here in Old Folks Racing PlayStation. And we have 11 drivers today in this race. For this round, this is race number 9 out of 10, so it's the season finale almost here at Brno, and it is the man of the moment, Delphi Moura. That's on pole position, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva. These three drivers, remember, they finished on the podium in both races in the last round, but certainly championship leader Darren Head in fourth has a word to say about this race. 5th place for Dale Taylor, 67 Allen, 7th is Kev Allen, 8th is Scott Davely, only 8, let's see what he can do from here. 9th is Jumbo, 10th is John Scott, and 11th is Gonçalo Mota. I am not sure the leaderboard is going to be working in this race, so we should just pray that it is going to be. And look at this amazing set of Mercedes for this race, and it's a good start for Delphi Moura. It's a good start also for Diogo Silva in second place. There's 3 wide there, 3 wide between Darren Head, Jorge Jesus and Diogo Silva. Diogo Silva goes into second place. I think Jorge Jesus has had a poor start. We'll get a replay of the start in a moment, but let's see if they all make it through turn 1 as Darren Head and Diogo Silva go side by side. There's more side by side action there at the back as Jorge Jesus drops to 4th. Look at Scott Davely up into 5th place. Nice start from the American driver, followed by a bunch of other drivers. Now this is the first corner that requires some heavy braking. Everyone made it through except, well, Gonçalo Mota has had probably a little bit of a moment, so we'll get a couple of replays from the start to see what happened to Gonçalo Mota in the first place. He seems to have lost it. Yes, he did, and it was let's have a look at this replay. He is behind I believe Jumbo, and he just hits Jumbo in the back and then loses it completely, and ends up, well, he was lost already at the start, but now he's lost a few more seconds, unfortunately. Let's see what happened with the man that was on the front row. That's Jorge Jesus. He's sitting in 4th place now, but he was 2nd at the start, so we will see probably just a slow getaway from Jorge, and ends up being beaten off the line by both Diogo Silva and let's have the replay here as the green light is out. Not yet, well, the picture suggests it's out, but that's probably just him not being very well designed. Look at this 3 wide here between Diogo Silva on the outside, Darren Head on the inside, and Jorge Jesus cautiously going through turn 1. Let's have a look at Scott Davely. He's going on the inside there, up into 1st, 6th place, and then into 5th as he manages to overtake both of the Allens. And Kev Allen has had a poor start there as he is now down into 8th place. But the action is here with Delphi Moura, followed by Diogo Silva, followed by Darren Head, followed by Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus had incredible pace in qualifying. He should be able to at least still attack for a podium position, and he's already attacking Darren Head. Look at this, up into 7th goes Kev Allen. And Del Taylor has had a moment. Del Taylor has had a moment, I believe, in turn 3. He has been through the gravel, and this was, well, he connected there with, look at this, that's Scott Davely in 5th. Simon Allen on the inside there in turn 2. Then on side by side, Davely is going to try to benefit from this as well, but he's going to potentially run out of road there as did they connect? No, they didn't. Or did they? Was it Jumbo that connected with because it seems to me that the Del Taylor got a bit of a tap in the back. Let's see it from Kev Allen's perspective. That's probably going to be the best here. No, they'll just well, no one no one touched there. It was just Dell trying to take avoiding action. Ends up losing quite a lot of time. He still holds on to 10th place. Look at this, George Jesus already is attacking there and head for third, and he's going for it, and he's going to do it. Yes, George Jesus goes up into third place. Nicely done there by the Portuguese driver there and head down into fourth. Then fifth is Simon Allen now, ahead of Scott Davely, ahead of Kev Allen, Jumbo. John Scott is in ninth, and then the two drivers that have been delayed by various incidents, not serious incidents. Very clean first lap actually here at Brno, but it's Delphi Moura now in the final section of this Brno circuit. It's a pretty long lap, so we only have 9 laps today. This is the final section, very twisty one as it's the whole circuit, as Delphi Moura continues to lead from Diogo Silva, from Jorge Jesus, from Darren Head. Here he is the championship leader. Darren Head, multiple victories already this season and could clinch the championship today. Simon Allen is doing it. Oh, Simon Allen went really wide there at the back. But now everything a little bit more sorted out, and Scott Davely starting to get under pressure from Kev Allen. Battle for 6th place here. We are still on the opening lap. It's a pretty long lap here at Brno. And Kev Allen might make a move into third one, as Diogo Silva also getting defensive there on Jorge Jesus. Look at this, Jorge Jesus already attacking for 2nd place as well, as he goes on the outside, and it seems to me he's going to be job done there. He's going to be job done. Diogo Silva, can he put any fight there? They're running side by side. Look at this beautiful racing there, and it seems to me that Jorge Jesus is going to be ahead now into turn 3 or turn 2. I believe this is going to be turn 2, side by side, but Jorge Jesus, unsurprisingly, he's got the inside line, he's got more pace, and he's up into 2nd place. By the way, Scott Davely also lost another position there to Kev Allen in the same corner. Kev up into 6th. Scott Davely is going backwards in this race. He started in 8th. He was up into 5th momentarily. Now he lost track position to both of the Allens, as we are already on lap 2 now, as Kev Allen now goes after Simon Allen. Let's see, let's keep an eye on that gap. And by the way, Jumbo has had a big moment potentially, because he's lost, well, not only he lost a lot of positions, he is now sitting dead last, and he's 7 seconds away from the next car up the road. He did a 2:24, which was not that bad a time, but he's had a moment in turn 1. The question is, did he have any help? And it seems to me that he did not. He just lost it on the exit, and fortunately, oh no, he did not manage to avoid the spin. And he's got the reset button again. This is going to be still a straight yellow card. It's the last round of the season, so it should not have any impact. And the penalty system is also about to change for the next season, but nevertheless, reset button will continue to be banned, as Jumbo drops down to 11th place. 10th is Gonçalo Mota, 9th is John Scott. John Scott has been overtaken by Del Taylor. Del Taylor on a recovery mode after that incident, after that off-road excursion to the gravel trap on lap 1. Scott Davely in 7th, as we saw, he's not given up on that 6th position from Kev Allen. But let's look at the race leader, is Delphi Moura, and Jorge Jesus is going as well to need something special, because Delphi Moura is already 1.8 seconds ahead, as Diogo Silva now has Darren Head for company, the championship leader, who hopes to clinch the championship in this round. And Diogo Silva trying to protect his points lead in the Piston Cup. At this point, Jorge Jesus is the other contender, is ahead of him, at least the most immediate contender, as they go through the final S of this Brno circuit. Then we have this longish back straight, one of the many back straights we have here in Brno before we enter the final section, which is a little bit of another S, a bit more chicaney, as Diogo Silva was almost rotating a little bit too much there in that final section. As they complete another lap, we're going to see the lap times, because Jorge Jesus did have free air and he's done a 2:12.944, marginally quicker than the leader. Darren Head is having a think about attacking Diogo Silva for third place. Let's look for other battles in this race. And Diogo Silva seems to be struggling already with his tires. And we are, and Darren Head also struggling a little bit there at the exit, as the other drivers, Simon Allen, Kev Allen, and Scott Davey maintain their positions. The man on the move is Dale Taylor. He's completely on recovery mode, and look at this, 2:13.888 is slower than the leaders, but pretty much faster than anyone else, particularly the two drivers ahead who did 2:15s and 2:14s respectively. So Dale Taylor is coming, and Gonçalo Mota has had another big moment. He's had a moment in lap 1, and he now, well, we thought that Jumbo had lost a lot of time, because he's lost 6 or 7 seconds. Gonçalo Mota has lost an enormous amount of time, so something must have happened to the Portuguese driver. We're going to try to capture this, potentially another use of the reset button, but we shall check. As well, he's at a 2:35, so it definitely happened on this lap, and he is stopped on the track, and it was again on his own. This corner is a little bit tricky, as he does a bit of a half spin and reset button as well. So Jumbo and Gonçalo Mota, already two drivers in 2 laps using the forbidden reset button, and do not try to do it, you will get caught most likely, as these two drivers have found out. Now they're sitting 10th and 11th anyway. Gonçalo Mota is more than 10 seconds away from Jumbo, so this is going to be interesting. Let's keep an eye on the pace of these two drivers, because I believe they probably have a bit more pace than some of the drivers in front. John Scott has done a 2:18.925 in free air. That's not a particularly fast time around this Brno circuit, but the drivers behind, of course, quicker, but making mistakes, which means they end up being slower, as we see Dale Taylor going after Scott Davey, and Scott trying to maintain that position and put some pressure on Kev Allen. Things a little bit more sorted out now on this third lap. Of course, still plenty of racing to go here at Brno. Let's go back to the battle for third place, as Diogo Silva is trying to hold on to that podium position. He's had so many third places this season. Is the champion of third places, and unsurprisingly he's probably going to finish third in the championship as it stands, as Darren Head still in the lead, and Jorge Jesus well positioned to at least challenge for second place, as Diogo Silva seems to be like all over the place now, as Darren, nice exit there by Darren, and Diogo Silva going defensive here in this, well, really wide backstretch. Here comes Darren Head on the inside, he's going for it, he's sending it, and they might need to run side by side, which is possible around this corner. Darren Head a little bit too much to the inside, ends up clipping that cone there and loses a bit of momentum. Diogo Silva, nicely done there in terms of the defense, but for how much longer is Diogo Silva going to hold on to this third place, because he seems to be sliding so much in every corner. Look at this, another nice exit there by Darren Head. Diogo Silva going defensive again, as the next corner is to the right. Darren Head maybe saving his efforts for a move into turn 1. We'll keep an eye on other battles, as something has happened to Simon Allen. We'll have, well, Simon Allen's car looks like it has gone somewhere where grass exists. You can just look at the car and feel that something is not right. He's dropped down into 8th place, and he has been on his own into the grass, as he loses time now, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Oh, he's almost looks like he's parking it to have a coffee. It was not a major off, but it's just such a tight field, he loses positions to Kev Allen, now up into 5th. Also Dale Taylor, by the way, has overtaken Scott Davey. Scott actually bizarrely maintains the position, because he's lost a position to Dale Taylor, but he's now won a position to from Simon Allen after that grass excursion. So now at the end of lap 3, the order is Kev Allen in 5th, Dale Taylor up into 6th. Nicely done by Dale after that opening lap incident. He has been off the road as well, but doing a nice recovery again. 2:14.438, pretty solid lap time, as Scott Lively now has to contend with Simon Allen, and Scott is possibly going to go back where he started, which is 8th place. Not the greatest performance here. We've seen better from Scott Lively this season. The American driver has been in contention for podiums in some of the races, but today it doesn't seem to be the type of circuit that he likes, as Simon Allen is all over him. Let's go back to this battle for third place as Diogo Silva continues to hold on to that podium position by the tightest of margins. Now on that Darren had thought about going on the inside there, but quickly gave up on that particular idea. We'll keep an eye on the battle for 7th place, which is the other tight battle we have on the track. And look at this, the race leader is under threat because George Zush has made amazing laps. A couple of laps from George Zush, qualifying pace 2:12.698, and all of a sudden the two drivers are within 1 second. Look at George Zush with his headlights on, saying to Delphi Moura, I am coming for you. We still have plenty of racing to go here, as Diogo Silva makes a small mistake there. It's not the ideal line through that particular corner. Darren Head might take advantage of this. He's running side by side. Now he's not going to be able to, and by the way, Scott Lively has lost the position, as we expected, from Simon Allen. They are nose to tail, but Simon recovers that 7th spot. Scott Lively down into 8th. He's not going, his race is not going in the right direction here today at Brno. And look at this, this is Darren Hell on the inside, and now this is going to be it. Yes, he's going to be it, and Diogo Silva tries to recover, and they run side by side. This is good racing, but not the ideal way to gain time, as they run side by side now. Into the first corner they go. Diogo Silva is still marginally ahead, but you can run the corner outside, as Darren Head is trying to get into that third place. Diogo Silva is going to take the line and maintain third place. This is good racing. Darren Head is trying to... Oh no, Darren Head lost it! Darren Head lost it, no! The championship leader is in the grass and is losing an enormous amount of time. We'll get a replay of what happened here. I'm not sure if they made contact or not, but major moment in this race as Darren Head tries to go around. We'll see the full replay of this saga that we saw over multiple corners, as the number 91 and the red car have come together in turn 1, or did they? Ooh, a bit of contact there, as I believe, well, it was another good exit by Darren, most likely, in this section. Darren very nicely done there. He's got a better line, and Diogo is going to go to one way. Now he's going to defend. Darren Head still sees the space and goes for it, and now on the inside brakes a little bit later, but almost clips those tires there. He's ahead, but now Diogo Silva still has a wheel there and manages to, with the slightest of touches there, to maintain third position, but loses momentum now on the start finish line. It's a dead heat as they go through the line, and now this is turn 1. This is where the action is going to happen. Diogo Silva is on the inside and he's probably going to take the corner. Yes, he does. Now, do they make contact? No. Now Darren Head, oh, he clips the grass there. Oh, clips the grass, clips the curve, and then he avoids the spin. He avoids also the gravel trap, but now he has got to come back through the gravel. There goes Kev Allen. There goes also Dale Taylor, and most likely you're going to see Simon Allen as well. Simon Allen also overtakes Darren Head. Darren Head down into 7th. He's ahead of Scott Davely. The American driver is still going to try to go on the inside there as he's coming with more momentum, but it's a little bit too late. And now, oh, the Simon, oh no! The Allens have come together. No, it's not the Allens, it's Kev Allen. Is it? No, it's Simon Allen. Oh, side by side there. What happened to Simon Allen? He went off the track, or was it Dale Taylor? I'm not so sure. It was, no, it wasn't that. Oh, it was both of them. Actually, Dale Taylor is up into 5th place. We had missed that. He has a very similar livery as Simon Allen is using. Dale Taylor was absolutely flying past Simon Allen. Well, no, sorry, he was ahead of Simon Allen already, as Simon had that moment earlier. I apologize. It's Kev Allen that's in 4th place. Dale Taylor in 5th place. Now he's accelerating a little bit too hard, and this car does not respond well to sudden outbursts in the throttle pedal. Now Simon Allen is trying to trace where he is. It almost looks like Simon Allen is looking for him to beat him up, but ends up also in the grass. Now Darren Head is now coming on the inside here, and Darren mitigating that. Oh, and look at this Saminawan, of course. Oh, they could have run too wide there, but they didn't. As Darren Head recovers a bunch of positions. Darren Head ends up losing just one position to Kev Allen, because he's recovered too, as Del Taylor went off the road, and so did Saminawan then with that side-by-side action. And main beneficiary of this was Scott Davely up into 6th place, but Saminawan is again coming for him. Saminawan is somewhat frustrated. He did well, he didn't hit Del Taylor, but he certainly lost it and went to the grass, and then had that moment with Darren Head when the two drivers were trying to run side by side, but there was just no enough real estate there. Now the same is going to happen as Saminawan again on the outside. Now gets the momentum. Maybe he is going to do it again, and Saminawan is going to go back into 6th place. Yes, he is. Saminawan back into 6th place. And meanwhile, we have a battle for the lead as well. As well, incredible racing here at Brno. Lap 5 out of 9. We are in the second half of the race already, and Delphi Moura is not comfortable at all. We expected Delphi Moura to run away with the victory like he did at Watkins Glen, but that has not been the case. The battle is on for the lead here at Brno. Race 9 out of 10. These two are battling it out for the win. Look at Diogo Silva. He is now running on his own, but he is 5 seconds behind this duet that has been the drivers to beat in the last 3 races, and today is no exception. Look at Delphi Moura. His tires are absolutely gone. He's got a little bit of a moment there at the exit. He can hold on to the lead, but by the tightest of margins. You can see it on the leaderboard. It's 4/10 of a second, and we have still 3 laps to go at the end of this one, and it's a pretty long lap, so we have almost 4 laps still of racing to go. Let's do a quick roundup, but without losing the battle for the lead. Diogo Silva followed by Kev Allen. Darren Head now in 5th. Now, how much time has Darren Head lost in that off-road excursion? The answer is around 5 seconds. He's 5 seconds behind Kev Allen, but he's almost 9 seconds. In fact, he's lost 9 seconds to Diogo Silva, who was the driver that he was battling with. 9 seconds is quite difficult to recover in just 3.5 laps. Then is Scott Davely defending from Saminawan, actually with a bit more breathing space now. Del Taylor is in 8th place. He's had the pace but not the consistency, and now he's off the road again in the same place. What happened to Del Taylor? Multiple mistakes by the South African driver. This is a carbon copy of what happened in the previous lap. Not exactly. He's not on the outside lane now, he's on the inside lane, and he's out of shape, clips the curb and loses it again, and with that he's going to lose it. He's going to lose another position. He's down in 9th place. 10th is John Scott. 11th is Gonçalo Mota. He's already he's had another moment in. He is done at 2:30. John Scott also not particularly quick with the 2:26. So drivers there at the back. And is he coming to pit lane? What on earth happened to Gonçalo Mota? He was a little bit all over the place there, just carrying a little bit too much speed. Oh no, he's just lost it. Or was he trying to get into pit lane and then gave up on the idea of retiring? We're not quite sure here. He will still score points in 11th, but he definitely needs to finish the race, as the 2 leaders are now at it, as Jorge Jesus is trying to mount a challenge, trying to understand where exactly on the track he's got a relative advantage. He's done faster laps compared to what Delphi Moura was doing. Look at the last lap, 2:12.850. 2:12s are an exclusive for Jorge Jesus. I don't think anyone else has been in the 2:12s. Diogo Silva is in the 2:14s, and so is Delphi Moura. So Jorge Jesus is completely on a league of his own here today at Brno. He just needs to find a way to get that race lead, and he's still got 3 laps to go. The battle is on. Delphi Moura is absolutely completely loose there in the final corner. Jorge Jesus is coming now. Can he do a move in turn 1? The answer is no. I think he's way too far behind. We'll keep an eye on the other battles, particularly Scott Davely and Saminawan, who are just 1 second apart, but this battle is more important right now. We'll keep an eye on that 6th and 7th place, as the other positions seem to be relatively stable, unless of course people make mistakes, which is always possible, especially in the second half of the race. With this car, typically tire wear is a big problem. This car does not respond very well to too much throttle, and it has a tendency to rotate on corner entry if you do too much speed, as look at this Delphimore is finding out, and then you can see the opposite lock, and then you just lose that crucial momentum. The question is, can Jorge Jesus take advantage of this in any shape or form? This is a very wide track with plenty of braking points too, so you would have thought that it is possible to overtake around here, but Jorge Jesus seems to be struggling to find that right opportunity as they go on lap 7 out of 9. Simon Allen has had a moment. Look at this. This is Scott Daly, the driver in front. Simon Allen is now actually, well, closer to being caught by Jumbo than actually putting pressure on Scott Daly. This is a recent event. He's done at 2:17, so some drivers really dropping off the cliff in terms of lap times. You can see Jumbo and Simon Allen with no particular issues that we could identify have done 2:17. Scott Daly has done a 2:16. Darren Heads, who is normally a very quick driver with this particular car, done a 2:15. Then it's Cavallo and Diogo Silva with 2:14, and it's only really the race leaders who are holding on to this and holding on to the pace and battling it out for the win. Surely these drivers are doing something special with this Mercedes 190E to get this pace. We'll get now the lap times at the end of lap 7, but the relative positions have not changed. Look at Delphimore, he's absolutely all over the place. He's a more aggressive driver than Jorge Jesus. I believe Jorge Jesus, with his style of driving, probably is taking better care of the tires, and now he's going for it. He's got to run. Delphimore goes defensive. I think he's a little bit too far behind for Jorge Jesus, but he's going to try anyway on the outside of turn 1, and he's going to go for it. His tires are better. Oh, he's just drifting away from the ideal racing line. This is probably not going to work like this. He's got to stick to that where that tarmac has grip, otherwise he's just going to slide off and lose momentum, which is exactly what happened in this turn 1. The lap times are 2:14 now, so everyone seems to be dropping off a cliff. Diogo Silva 2:14.7, 2:14.8 for Cavallo. Look at this now, Jorge Jesus is on the inside there. Had to think about it, but couldn't quite execute. 2:15s for Darren Head, and then completely dropping off the cliff is Scott Daly 2:17. Simon Allen has a moment. He's lost he's lost 7 seconds with this off-road excursion that we have not captured, but effectively have ended his chances of battling it out for 6th place. But the big battle is over here. 1.5 laps to go. We'll stick to the leaders and we'll track any changes in other positions as they go through the final section of this Brno circuit for the penultimate time. And Jorge Jesus hasn't really made any attempt except that attempt in turn 1 on the previous lap. He seems to be quicker, but he just can't find a spot despite the fact that the track is so wide. Now he's losing a little bit, he's losing a few car lengths. So crucially, maybe Delphimore found some life in his tires for this last lap, and that number 3 might be heading for the 3rd consecutive win in this championship, as Delphimore, the reigning champion of World Vlogs Racing PlayStation, continues to be superior to others in all sorts of machinery. He did miss a couple of seasons in 2024, that's why he's down in the piston cap standings, but nevertheless he's an incredibly strong driver, and he's now crucially opening a gap of 7/10 of a second, which is not much, but is way more than he had on the previous lap. And crucially he's done a 2:13.271, which is a very fast time for a Mercedes with very tired tires, and now opened a few car lengths of a gap to Jorge Jesus. It seems to me game, set and match, but we're not quite sure. We'll keep an eye on this battle. 3rd is Diogo Silva, 4th is Cavallo, and nicely done by Kev. Good recovery race after not the best of starts. Then Darren Heads in 5th, might be his worst result of the season. We'll need to check. Scott Daly in 6th, 7th is Jumbo, and Simon Allen has had a big moment, and he continues to have big moments. This one because on the last corner he was already in 9th spot. Let's have a look at what happened to Simon Allen. He's had multiple moments over one lap because Dale Taylor, who was behind him by still quite the margin, is now ahead of him. So I believe this means that Simon Allen has had multiple moments over one lap, and yes, he had. And this is the classic Mercedes 190E crash around here. Just too much speed on corner entry, then rotation. He does not use the reset button. Nicely done. And then later in the lap, we're going to see him do, well, he's lost 8th place now. He's down into 9th. But later in the lap, he is going to have another moment, and that's going to come just around now. Not sure if it's on this S or the final S. It's on the final S. He holds on to the car on this particular one. The question is he going to lose any more positions or not? But the disastrous lap there for Simon Allen is lap 8, as he now again is in too much speed on corner entry. Now in this case he's just going offline, and beautiful spin there. He again resists the temptation to use the reset button, but he's lost an enormous amount of time and drops down into 10th. And this is definitely not where he wanted to finish this race. 11th is still Gonçalo Mota. Just double checking, he's not retired. In fact, he's running quite competitive times, 2:15.790. The previous lap was in 2:16, which is considerably faster than the drivers in front, but the damage was already done from the earlier laps. Oh, and what has happened here? We had a change for the lead. Change for the lead on the final lap. And what on earth happened to Delphi Moura? What on earth happened to Delphi Moura that he lost? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. This is interesting, to say the least. As, oh no, Delphi Moura, who was doing such a great job again. This is carbon copy of the incidents we have seen for other drivers. Just too much speed on corner entry. He, well, drifts him through the corner, and Jorge Jesus says thank you very much. He's going for the win now. He was arguably the strongest driver today. He's had a bad start, and he's recovered all the way back to the lead of the race now. He's got better tires than Delphi Moura on this last lap, and that number 48 is going for the win. Delphi Moura losing the chance to go for 3 in a row. This is a disaster for Delphi Moura after well, having 3 or 4 seconds of a gap in the lead of this race and leading every single lap. Now in the last lap, Delphi Moura loses it on his own. Maybe this race is still not over, because, well, by the looks of it, these drivers have big problems with their tires. But what a turnaround here for Jorge Jesus. After that poor start, we thought that his chances to win the race were done, but he's proven everyone wrong by amazing consistency and pace. I believe he's the only driver that has done 2:12. Look at the last lap, 2:13.903. Well, which was slower. We thought that Delphi Moura had opened the gap, and he had opened the gap of around a second, only to lose it on the last lap. Now just a few more corners to go. Delphi Moura is trying to come back at him, but now it's a little bit too late. Maybe with one more lap he would have done it, but it's going to be Jorge Jesus, the winner of this race, surprise winner on the last lap. Here comes Delphi Moura for one last shot at the win. Look at this, he's coming with a lot of momentum, but it's a little bit too late, and it is Jorge Jesus followed by Delphi Moura. Nice finish. Delphi Moura was almost getting it there at the end, but Jorge Jesus prevails to win the race. Third place man is Diogo Silva. Fourth place is Kev Allen. Kev catching Diogo quite nicely in the end, but not enough time to get close enough to make a move. 50 is going to be Darren Head. 60 is going to be Scott Davely. 70 is going to be Jumbo. A little bit of a yo-yo race, but he's had his highest position towards the end, which is when it matters. He finishes the race in 7th place, sorry. 8th is going to be Dale Taylor. 9th is going to be John Scott. And 10th is going to be Simon Allen after that horrendous lap, the previous lap where he had 2 separate spins, finishing the race in 10th place. Gonçalo Mota is going to be the last of the finishers, and he's a minute and a half behind, which is very unusual for Gonçalo Mota. He's normally up there racing for wins and podiums, and we've seen certainly that in this car, but this Brno circuit certainly has its intricacies, not the easiest circuit to adjust to. Nevertheless, Gonçalo Mota, nicely done. He's going to at least finish the race and get some points on the board. We've seen other drivers sometimes retire from the race, but he's holding on till the end, and that could make the difference sometimes when it comes to championship standings. As he gets that number 24, he seems to be really struggling with his tires. Let's see what he can do in race 2 as he crosses the line, and that completes coverage of the 9th race of the season. It's time now to go to the season finale. Jorge Jesus was the winner of the 9th race, followed by Delphi Moura, followed by Diogo Silva. We're now going for the last race of the season. Darren Head should be able to win the championship with his earlier results, but we shall see what's going to happen as we load the replay, and again we can see how twisty and long this Brno circuit is. You can see it there in the Czech Republic, mostly known for motorbike racing, I believe. In the past also some GT racing, otherwise not used much in international series these days, unfortunately. Last race with the Mercedes DTM car, which is a bit of a polarizing car. Some drivers like it, some drivers do not like it, before we go into our next championship, which is going to be a combination of the Ginetta GT5 car and the Renault Clio, first time in a while where we're using 2 cars in the same championship. As we see the starting grid for the second race, and it is race 1 winner Jorge Jesus, who's on pole position, followed by Delphi Moura, followed by Diogo Silva, followed by Kev Allen. So we have actually the same finishing order of race 1 is the same as qualifying for race 2 for the top 4 drivers. 5th is Dale Taylor, 6th, only 6th is Darren Head, 7th is Gonçalo Mota. He should be able to do a bit better in this race. 8th again is Scott Davey, 9th is Jumbo, 10th is Simon Allen, he's the back there, should be able to recover, and 11th is John Scott. Let's see if we have a great race like we had in race 1. It's the season finale, the last time that these drivers are going to race this car for a while, and it's go go go. And Delphi Moura has had a good start again. Jorge Jesus again with a poor start. And it's Delphi Moura who leads them into turn 1. Jorge Jesus trying to hang on into that second position. Here comes Kev Allen on the inside. Not enough momentum. Diogo Silva takes the outside line, but he's going to lose the position to Kev Allen, or is he? Darren Head wants a piece of that action too. Look at this, almost 3 and 4 wide there as they go through turn 3, and Jorge Jesus is still under pressure from now Diogo Silva. And look at this, this is Kev Allen as well. Oh dear, what we have is, are they going to go through this section without any incident? The answer is yes, but well, Jorge Jesus recovers a little bit of ground there. Kev Allen is the driver. Oh no, Kev Allen is off the road. I believe it's Kev Allen. Yes, he is. Oh dear, what happened to Kev Allen? We'll get the full replay of the start with him, because at some point I thought he was going to go almost into second place, and a few corners later he is off the track. So change of fortunes there for Kev Allen, as he got a little bit squeezed at different points in time. Let's find out what happened exactly here. At some point he was challenging for second place after an excellent getaway, but couldn't hold on to that momentum. Look at this, Jorge Jesus again with a poor start. So this is a replay of what happened. Nice start there by Kev Allen. Jorge Jesus' poor start holds Diogo Silva a little bit, trying to go in defensive mode. Kev Allen has free air, free track in front of him, and at this point he's in second place. Jorge Jesus takes the corner, squeezes a little bit Cavallan, loses a bit of momentum, and now he's going to lose a bit more momentum at the exit as drivers on the left-hand side are going to come with more momentum. Diogo Silva recovers third place there. Darren Head is not far from this action either. Oh, then he clips the grass there, loses a bit of momentum. Here comes Darren Head, it's the red car on the inside of turn 2. Everyone giving each other space there, no problem. Now he's coming to the next corner, he's going to lose it. Is there contact? No, there is no contact. Oh, he just clips the curb and then off the track he goes. I'm not sure if Dale Taylor had contact with Cavallan or not. I believe the answer to this question is no, but we shall find out. I think they were close, but well, Cavallan did lose a bit of momentum there, and no, Cavallan, well, Cavallan, I believe there might be contact, but this was after Cavallan lost it, not before. So Cavallan did not lose it because of Dale Taylor. He lost it, and then maybe Dale Taylor was able to avoid, but in fact Cavallan was already out of shape as pretty much everyone else recovers that position, as Gonçalo Mota now up into 6th, 7th is Scott Davely, somehow up into 9th, as they all maintain their positions, as now the race is on between the two drivers at the front, Delphi Moura and Jorge Jesus, if they show the same pace as before. So a little bit of a replay of race 1. Look at this, Diogo Silva all over the place there, and Darren Head wants a piece of that action, and these two drivers were very close in the first race. It should be the same now in the second race before Darren made that mistake in turn 1, but the two leaders already checking out from third place man Diogo Silva, and Darren Head and Dale Taylor want a piece of that action with Gonçalo Mota, Scott Davely, Simon Allen up into 8 now. He got around John Scott, as also Cavallan in recovery mode goes around Jumbo. Jumbo drops down, well, Jumbo drops down big time because he's had a moment, surely. He's been off the track, and unfortunately we may need to decide whether a points deduction is on the cards or not, because he might, well, he didn't spin, but now he spins and uses the reset button twice, well, twice in the same round but in different races. So maybe this is the same penalty, maybe this is another penalty, but Jumbo importantly is oh, Darren Head is ahead. Darren Head is ahead now. Darren Head is ahead of Diogo Silva. He's got the move done. We missed that, but clearly these drivers are again at it, as Diogo Silva a little bit all over the place there at the exit, and Darren with the better exit. He tried the inside the last time round. Diogo Silva now protecting the inside. He's going around the outside, which is actually the right way to do this, because you do get a better line there through the final corner, but Diogo Silva is having none of it and still is side by side now. I believe that Darren has better momentum, or does he? Diogo Silva is still going on there side by side. Dale Taylor wants a piece of that action as well, as he goes defensive. Diogo Silva on the outside of turn 1. It's possible to overtake, but difficult, as they go side by side. Diogo Silva goes very wide, and this is absolutely not going to work at all, as he's going to struggle even to get to remain in 4th place. Dale Taylor wants a piece of that action. This is good racing here, as strangely he did get quite a good exit off turn number 1, but Darren Head is having none of it and protects the inside there in turn 2, and they all survive to fight another day, but Darren Head is now up into 3rd place. Of course, this driver is not the ideal way of gaining time. They lost already 3 seconds to the leaders. Darren Head, Diogo Silva, Dale Taylor, Gonçalo Mota in 6th place. Much better race so far for him compared to race 1. Scott Davely, Simon Allen up into 8th. Cavallan is also up into 10th, but this was because Jumbo had that moment. Race leader is Delphi Moura, but the other guy is coming, Jorge Jesus. He's coming for him just like in race 1. We are on lap 2 out of 9, plenty of racing still to go. Darren Head is in 3rd place, and there's a bit of a train here between Darren Head and Diogo Silva. Diogo Silva is under severe pressure from Dale Taylor. Diogo Silva continues to slide a little bit too much there in the few corners in this midfield section of the Brno circuit. Otherwise things a little bit more sorted out now, as one yellow car, I believe it's Cavallan there at the back, didn't have the best exit. Look at this, Diogo Silva all over the place. He's maybe not managing his tires as well as he should at this point. As Del Taylor definitely still challenging for the potentially for a podium here, as the gap between George Douche and Delphi Moura is now under a second. Let's look at lap times. These two drivers have had free air in this second lap, which is a flying lap already, so this gives a good indication of who has the early pace in this Brno circuit. Delphi Moura a little bit all over the place, but it seems to me that he's opening a little bit of a gap. It's a 2:11.641, the fastest time we've seen this round, and Delphi Moura is absolutely flying. He's trying to hold on to that lead, then head, followed by Diogo Silva, followed by Del Taylor, followed by Gonçalo Mota, followed by Scott Davey, followed by Simon Allen, followed by Kev Allen. Kev Allen up into 9th place, he got around John Scott. John down into 10th place. But we have pretty much between 3rd and 8th, 5 seconds, so everything is in place still, particularly 3rd, 4th and 5th, with Diogo Silva there on the sandwich of Del Taylor and Darren Head. The gap at the front is 1.1 seconds, so it's still opening up a little bit, but the crucial thing is what will happen in the last stint of this race when the tires are completely gone. That's going to be absolutely crucial. Mota, where is he? He is ahead of Scott Davey and holding on to that 6th place for the time being. Much better race now in the second race. Probably use the first race as a practice session to make sure he does not make the same mistakes here in the second race. Now Simon Allen is expected to recover, and certainly the Allens have shown better pace than Scott Davey, who's in front of him in race 1, but the driver on the move is Kev Allen. Look at this 2:14.007. Not a great lap time when you compare it to the leaders, but it's a great lap time when you compare it with the cars running ahead, because Simon Allen 2:15.8, Scott Davey 2:15.2. Not particularly quick considering that the tires are still okay at this point. Lap 3 out of 9. As look at this, a little bit of a and something has happened to Kev Allen. Something has happened to Kev Allen, and we were trying to track his progress, and his progress has been progress towards the, oh dear, this is again the classic incident with this car. Too much entry speed, the car goes into opposite lock, and then it's very difficult to avoid an incident. He does a good job avoiding the spin, but not a good job avoiding any loss of position, which he had. John Scott up into 9th place now. Let's go back to the race leaders and see what's happening at the end of lap 3, as Delphi Moura, is he going to go for another smashing lap time? He's trying to win this second race, finish the season on a high note, and he crosses the line, and it's a 2:12 this time, 2:12.5, 2:12.6. Pretty similar lap times, but Delphi Moura crucially still faster. Darren Head, then Diogo Silva, then Del Taylor, now slightly more spaced out compared to what we've seen before. Gonçalo Mota is potentially having to contend with Scott Davey and Simon Allen. Pretty clean racing so far in this round. We haven't seen any outrageous maneuvers, and even the first laps were pretty good compared to other races we've seen this year. So thumbs up for all the old folks racing here at Brno. It does help that the track is a bit wide. There's plenty of real estate there for everyone, but of course not equal amounts of grip across that real estate, but still you can manage to not go off track, although Kev Allen just showed us otherwise. He's now trying to get back into that 9th spot, but crucially he's already lost 5 seconds compared to his track position before the incident. And this shows just how tight this field is. I mean, you lose a little bit of an off-track excursion as he tries to go around the outside there. Not sure that's going to work, but well, it might work actually. Nicely done there by Kev Allen. There's a John Scott. Oh, and there's a spin there at the back. Spin there at the back, and it's Jumbo. And does he use the reset button again? We hope he's not using it, but I believe that, well, it's a spin, harmless spin, but then use of the reset button for the third time in this round. And I think that we are reaching points deduction territory here. Not sure how this is going to impact him in the championship, but he's already in the 11th in this race, 25 seconds away from the leader, and crucially 9 seconds away from the next car up the road, who is John Scott. But certainly one for the admins to consider, as another lap is going to be in the books. This is lap 4 completed, so we are approaching the midpoint of this race, and just like in the first race, it seems that Jorge Jesus has the pace to get to the back of Delphi Moura, but not really putting enormous amounts of pressure at this point. Maybe saving his attack for later on in the race, we don't know. Maybe Delphi Moura has things under control. We shall find out, as they basically are now in the second half of the final race of the entire season. Darren Head holding on to that third place, and Diogo Silva for once not in third place, he's down in 4th. 5th is Del Taylor, 6th is Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo Mota has checked out now from Scott Daly. It looks like he was under pressure a lap or so ago. Now it seems to me that it's Scott Daly in 7th who is under pressure from Simon Allen, who's not having a great weekend. He was having a good race in race 1 up to a point, and then had a bit of annus horribilis in one of the laps, as he, with 2 separate mistakes, dropped down into 10th. He's running 8th, at least it's better than in race 1, but not clearly Simon Allen gold standard, as we are used to seeing Simon clearly battle for wins and championships. He's already won a championship this season as well, as Scott Daly seems to be lagging a little bit, either that or it's the replay lagging. Kev Allen, by the way, has gone up to 8th place. We'll keep an eye on his pace, because he's got good pace when he's running in free air with no mistakes, and we still have 4 laps to go at the end of this one. It's plausible that he can get to the back of Simon Allen again. Let's see what happened, but disaster for Delphi Moura, as he seems to have disconnected from this race. He was leading, and this is a disastrous round for Delphi Moura. He's now is in heaven, which I'm not sure why this sim puts the cars like this. Yes, it's a DNF for Delphi Moura from the lead of this race. This is absolutely terrible news for the Portuguese driver, as he now is stationary and ghosted. As you can see, Darren Head up into 2nd, Diogo Silva up into 3rd, and this is a DNF for disconnection, which we hadn't seen in a while, but disaster, nothing he could do about it. He's led both races in this round, but all he has is a 2nd place in race 1. This is great news for Jorge Jesus, who's now the leader on his own of this race with 4 laps to go. Darren Head in 2nd, and the battle for 3rd now has become the battle for 2nd place, as Diogo Silva has found some life in these tires and a little bit of pace compared to his earlier performance, and he certainly seems to be gaining time from Darren Head. He's putting his headlights on to show to Darren that he's there, and he's smelling that 2nd place. He's done so many 3rd places this season. Let's see what he can do. 4th now is Del Taylor. Up into the top 5 is Gonçalo Mota. Nicely done, Gonçalo Mota holding on very nicely with no mistakes this time round. 6th is Scott Daly. 7th is Simon Allen. 8th is Kev Allen. 9th is John Scott and Jumbo. Going on still in 10th spot. We have 10 drivers. Now let's look at lap times. And look at this, Jorge Jesus continues to be the class of the field, now on his own. 2:13.579 is 1.5 seconds faster than Darren Head, and a second, 1.2 seconds faster than Diogo Silva, who's had a better lap than Darren Head and can smell that 2nd place if he can make a move in the next 3 laps. Then it's Del Taylor, Gonçalo Mota, Scott Daly. We'll keep an eye on everyone, but positions are relatively stable right now. What a disaster for Delphi Moura. He could have run away again with 2 victories. Instead, he is out of this race. Disconnections, we don't see that many disconnections these days, but in this case Delphi Mora was the helpless victim of the internet, as of course with gaming you do need very stable internet connection, and in Project Cars 2 curiously you cannot come back to the race, unlike simulations like Assetto Corsa on the PC, that if you disconnect you can still get back to the lap where you were, and maybe you lose a lap or two in the process, but in the long endurance race, for example, you can almost survive a disconnection. It would be the equivalent of having a big problem, having to pit for a lap. Unfortunately, in PlayStation and in particular in Project Cars 2, there's no such thing, and you are just out of the race. Now it doesn't really matter, as we can see Darren Head now getting a bit of breathing space there from Diogo Silva. I believe that this looks like a better lap for Darren overall, and we'll see that at the line and see the pace of the top 3 drivers. Seems to be a better lap overall. Yes, it is better lap overall. He's actually opening quite a nice gap, more than this, well, less than a second, but already almost a second as the lap time. Now we'll probably tell the story. The Jorge Jesus 2:14. Now Darren Head has done a good lap, maybe a 2:14 as well. Yes, he's even faster than Jorge Jesus, and Diogo Silva also a 2:14, but 2:14.8. Del Teller at 2:13. He's coming. He's had a good lap as well, so some drivers are finding some grip on these tires. The question for Dale is he's still got a couple of seconds to go to the back of Diogo Silva. Then it's Gonçalo Mota, then it's Scott Davey who's losing time there. Scott Davey not a particularly good lap time, 2:16 flat versus Gonçalo Mota 2:14.728. Saben also not particularly quick, and as we expected, the man on the move again is Kev Allen. Kev finished 4th in race 1. He's running 8th after multiple problems, but potentially he's going to get to the back of Simon Allen quite soon, as John Scott and Jumbo remain in 9th and 10th. Let's have a look at the gap between 2nd and 3rd, the closest battle on the track. Now Darren Head seems to have things under control, and we've seen this in past races. Sometimes drivers over the past couple of laps, they do not seem to find the grip anymore. It happened with Delphi Mora in race 1. We've seen other drivers have that problem throughout the year, and Darren Head has actually been quite good at this particular issue of finding grip late in the race. He's had multiple victories and podiums this season, and as it stands, he's going to be the champion of this Wildcard Challenge. And something has happened there at the back, as Gonçalo Mota up into 4th place. What happened to Del Teller? Del Teller has had a big moment, and Gonçalo Mota from 11th on the first race is now up into 4th. Nicely done by the Portuguese driver. Was this an on-track overtake, or was it that Del Teller made a mistake? I suspect that surely Del Teller must have made a mistake, because he's lost an enormous amount of time, and this was already in this lap. He's done a very good time on the, oh no, it's the same again. This is carbon copy of 2 incidents that Del Teller has had in race 1, and at least one incident that other drivers have. At least he avoids clipping the wall and avoids a full spin, but loses it on turn 2. And with that, I think it's the end of Del Teller's aspirations to the podium, and Gonçalo Mota is having an incredible second race in 4th place. This is a very nice performance indeed. Look at also Simon Allen starting to get under pressure from Kev Allen. He's done, well, 1.5 seconds, almost 1.5 seconds slower than Kev on the previous lap, and we still have 2 laps to go at the end of this one. We're not yet at the end of the lap, so plenty of racing still to go. We've got at least another 5 minutes before drivers see the checkered flag, as Darren Head continues to hold on to that 2nd place and to that championship, as we see yet another driver clinch a championship this season. We had already Diogo Silva, we had we had Jorge Jesus, we had also Delphi Mora, not sure about Simon Allen yet in this championship in this year, as this is obviously the 6th out of 8 championships. But Darren Head is going to be a winner again, and I believe he's clinched at least one championship since 2021. Every season we see Darren Head ahead in some shape or form. Now the man ahead is Jorge Jesus, as he's now on lap 8 out of 9. Gonçalo Mota, let's see what's the gap to Dale Taylor, if Dale can come back, because Dale was showing incredible pace earlier on. They're not far behind, so keep an eye on that particular battle. 6 is Scott Davis, 7 is Simon Allen. Simon Allen holding on to that 7th place, and he should, with just 1 lap and 3/4 to go, should be able to hold on. We'll keep an eye on that battle as well. Diogo Silva does not seem to have the pace to get to the back of Darren Head. It's going to be another 3rd place for him. It's going to be 2nd, and the championship for Darren. Now on lap 8, Gonçalo Mota, ooh, look at this. Gonçalo Mota is under pressure from Dale Taylor. Dale Taylor has found the pace again after that mistake on the previous lap, and this is the closest battle on the track by far. And Dale Taylor seems to have the pace to take that position. Now he just needs to find a way around Gonçalo Mota, who's doing a great job on this race. He still would be top 5 even if he loses this position, but he wants that 4th place definitely. This is not a battle for the podium. That's 6 seconds behind and still 1 lap and a bit to go. Oh, Dale Taylor is he's lagging a little bit. He's off the track. Is this really off the track? Yes, it is. Dale Taylor again off the track, and this could be now job done for Gonçalo Mota. He's losing a lot of momentum and losing a couple of seconds there, as Jorge Jesus is going to start the final lap. He's going to win both races here in Brno, and with that he's going to finish 2nd in this championship behind Darren Head. If it stays up, whoa, what happened there? He almost lost it there in the final corner. It's not the final lap. He still has got 1 more lap to go, and this is like a big surprise box here always in Brno, especially with this car, as drivers seemingly under control, just losing it. Look at that, Gonçalo Mota has had a poor exit there, and Dale Taylor is still in the mix. Let's look at the gap, 2:15.429. Dale Taylor was slower just because of that off-road excursion, but not by much, so he's definitely coming for Gonçalo Mota. This is absolutely not over. Simon Allen does seem to have things under control, as Kev Allen has made another mistake. He's under 2:22 now, and we shall investigate if this involved use of the reset button or not, as Jumbo and Dale Taylor both have been found out to use. And this is, well, what happened to Kev Allen is, let's see where this incident took place. He's actually not that far ahead of John Scott following that incident. He was much closer to Simon Allen, so definitely something bad happened to Kev. He's lost, and I believe I know the corner where this has taken place, which is just coming here in your screen. I believe it's going to be here that he's going to lose it, isn't it? Yes, it is, but he does not use it. This is a different type of incident he's got. It's not a curbing problem, just like we saw others in the inside line. He's just carrying too much speed, and now he just lost it and does a full spin. Does not use the reset button. Nicely done by Kev there. As his challenge for 7th place has effectively finished, as Jorge Jesus is already on his last lap of the race, and it seems to me it's going to end like this, but we never know. On the last corner, things on the last lap, things can happen, as Jorge Jesus is going to win the race. There he is on the last lap, 4 seconds ahead of Darren Head. Darren Head actually is under pressure from Diogo Silva now on the last lap, but I'm might be a little bit too late for Diogo to make a move. But they are close again. Gonçalo has checked out from Del Teller. Del Teller trying to come back on this final lap, but I'm not sure he's got the time to do it, as into the last sector goes Jorge Jesus, 2 out of 2. And just a few more corners to go. Darren Head seems to have it under control from Diogo Silva. Just Gonçalo seems to have it under control from Del Teller. Just, but it's going to be an exciting finish. Nevertheless, Jorge Jesus, a few more corners to go. Let's see if Darren Head is under pressure from Diogo Silva. Now he seems to have checked out, and Darren is very quick through this particular section. That's where he got second place, well, was third place at the time in the first place. We'll see at the back if we can see Gonçalo and Del Teller, and they're still, oh, look at this, this is close, this is going to be close, this is going to be close, as Jorge Jesus takes the checkered flag. Darren Head and Diogo Silva are going to be second and third, and look at this, this is going to be close. Del Teller goes on the outside of Gonçalo Mota goes defensive, and they touch, the two drivers touch, and we'll get a replay of what happened. But Darren Head has won the championship, followed by Diogo Silva in third place in the race, third place also in the championship. Gonçalo Mota and Del Teller finished. But let's have a look at this replay of the last lap. I believe that's, well, last lap, last corner, you would expect a bit of pushing and shoving, and I think that Del Teller wasn't completely ahead of Gonçalo. He was coming on the outside. He had a much better exit from these S. Gonçalo Mota a little bit losing momentum. He's coming with more momentum. He's not ahead at this point, but he's going to be ahead. He's going to try to go around the outside. Gonçalo Mota is still entitled to the corner. He changes his line to go defensive, perhaps a little bit too much, but understandable on the last lap of a race. And Del Teller has to run wide and does not get the position. As Gonçalo Mota finishes 4th, followed by Del Teller. 6th is going to be Scott Davis. 7th is going to be Simon Allen. 8th is going to be Kev Allen. 9th is going to be John Scott. And Jumbo is going to end up in 10th position. And that completes coverage of the Wildcard Challenge. The last winner of the season is Jorge Jesus, and the champion is Darren Head. What a championship this was. Very enjoyable racing, and we hope to see more good racing in the next championship with the Ginetta and the Clio, of course, covered in this YouTube channel in due course. As we say bye bye from the Wildcard Challenge now.